Hello, everybody. I'm actually hoping. I never usually want to be a video of mine to go viral, because I don't care about that. But this message, I want to chime in on the transition culture thing that's happening now. I definitely want to add my 2 cents as a mom, as a person, a woman that has had a very full life. One thing that has dawned on me as I am now in my early 40s, and anyone else in their 40s and up will be able to relate to what I'm saying. As a person grows through life, you change. When you're a baby, you like baby things. The little carousels above your crib, the baby infant toys, and then you grow out of them. I wanted to use myself as an example, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to word everything because I'm just speaking off the top of my head instead of written down. Okay, so one of the boys is about ready to move a vehicle, and I didn't want a huge distraction, so I'm walking away from everyone. And then as you're, 5 through 10, you have other toys that you're interested in. I had My Little Pony, and I had Disney Princess puzzles. And then when I would pretend to be a teenager. Teenagers didn't play with toys. I became with a teenager and stopped playing with those kind of toys, but I didn't lose my imagination. I still enjoyed, pretending old-fashioned, or pretending like the whole world had ghosts and everything was like the Ghostbusters cartoon with slime everywhere. And I got into my 20s and I, changed again. And then I got in my 30s. When I was in my 30s, I didn't notice what a pompous brat I was until I was in my 30s and I looked back, like spending time around 20-year-olds and how kind of strut and rooster they are, males and females, just, strutting around thinking that, they know everything and they've got life handled. I was one of those, and that happens to some people. Other people it doesn't. It depends on life circumstance. But now that I'm in my, gotta get away from the sun, that's better. I'll sit on this old chuck wagon. And now that I'm in my 40s, I'm looking back and sometimes I'm just walking to go feed animals or do some other chore, and I just stop and go, oh, I was so stupid. I embarrassed myself. I made a bad choice, and then I got to go, okay, well, that was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You don't dwell on it. And so my point is that teenagers, 10-year-olds, you guys, your mind is going to change. I was a hippy dippy hitchhiking, eat the rich, chick. I was going to live off a horseback and live in the woods, and to heck with society. And really my story is that God had other plans for me and wanted me to have a family, and I didn't know I wanted a family, but they needed me, I needed them, and now here I am on a ranch. I'm getting to learn the perspective of all those people that I hated because you're a landowner and you're greedy and you've got 1,000 acres, you're so selfish, why don't you blah 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 kindness. Now I'm getting to see it from that perspective, so my view is changing again. And that's what life's about, in my opinion, or for me, is being the observer of all the different things that life, and learning from it and growing from it as as you live more years, and sorry about my big ass forehead. I mean, if you look really close, I have face tattoos. And now that I am, well, hi, kitty. And now that I'm older and I'm more conservative, and I'm more religious in studying the Bible, I realized, oh my gosh, I wasn't supposed to tattoo my body, and now I really regret it. But thank God Yeshua died for our sins, and I can, be forgiven for my bad choices. Not trying to carry on a religious aspect, but in a reality aspect, as you live more years, your mind changes depending on what happens in your life. And I am just begging parents to remember that so they can see, don't let your kids make a life-changing decision. You wouldn't let them get a tattoo at 10 years old because it's permanent. Please don't let them mutilate their bodies. If you're okay with letting them dress up like a girl or dress up like a boy, and you want to buy the tape to flatten the spaces, even though it's kind of bad because those organs need to develop, then let them do that. But if you really want to, but don't cut things off of them. They aren't going to thank you when they're 40. They're going to be mad. They're going to come to you and say, why did you let me, who didn't know what I was doing, make this decision? Why did you allow this, knowing that my mind was going to change as I grew up? Because your personality changes through your life experiences. Go talk to anyone. Go to senior citizens' homes and talk to someone who has their mind, and they can tell you, anyone over 40 knows that you are not the same person you were when you were 20. You don't feel like you're invincible. You know that, hey, if I make this really dangerous choice, my arm could break, and that's going to hurt. Where a 20-year-old is like, oh, I'm fast enough, I can get it. Well, then they break their arm, and then they learn that caution when they're 40. But if you cut off genitalia, you can't take that back. And I feel like these people who have transitioned and regretted it are trying to warn us, and we need to listen to them. It's important to listen to them. They know what they're talking about. I'm sure of it. I was a tomboy when I was and I'm happy with who I am now. So that's my 8-minute long message of carrying on, but that's my opinion, and I wanted to give it, yes. See you guys later.